Thank you, and thank you, Helen, for taking the shift immediately after the lunch, which I call the graveyard shift. So hopefully people are a little awake. And I must also say that, it has been a very interesting session for me. This is the first time I'm attending. And while talking to some people during the break, also realized that if you look at the figures, the enormity of a challenge in front of us as global people is extremely clear, and it makes you much more conscious to what you do and what you don't do. So I'm sure that if we are able to share these figures at least with people, there will be a lot of consumer change that will happen, and hopefully that will be helping our overall ambition of safe food in the long run. Yeah. Very good. So I move on to the topic where I'm going to talk about making food safe and available everywhere. A little bit on Tetra Pak that most of you would know that it started somewhere in 1950, almost 65 years ago, with a very noble idea that a package should save more than it cost. And I think that is what the foundation of Tetra Pak has been. And the first package that came out was also accordingly a package for which you needed the least amount of packaging material to package the same quantity of liquid. So if you have to package half a liter, then this shape would take the least amount of packaging material. And along with that, we had a vision or a philosophy that we should be committed to making food safe and available everywhere. Working on this slowly, we realized that while we are doing this quite well in most of the developed cities and in modern trade outlets, but there is a huge amount of population in the globe which we don't call the bottom of the pyramid, because that is something which is way down. Even above them, almost 1.8 billion people who are having a subsistence with $2 to $8 on a daily basis. So very clearly, it's a very, very meager amount. Many times, availability of food for them itself is a challenge. Forget about being safe or being available to them. And as per the data, bulk of it, I would say 80% is concentrated in Africa as well as Asia, but also it's there in China as well as in South America. This particular awareness, I would say, triggered a thought that while we are doing business as usual with the entire society, and maybe to a certain extent with this part of the people also, there is a need for a special focus to be dwelled on this segment. I would like to quickly show you a film on what we call as the DIP film. If we could run the film if possible.
This video is about our dream for a better world. Tetra Pak has been visionary since its foundation and has always envisioned a better world, one that takes into account all the people from the base to the top of the economic and social pyramid. As a company, we have always had a commitment to making food safe and available everywhere and to everyone. But why everyone? Because we care. Because as a sustainable company, we care about everyone's future. Because we care about these children that have the opportunity to grow healthy and happy in the near future with our help and, of course, yours. And we know that together we can make the dream of a better world happen. That's why we started to study and research these new scenarios in order to prepare ourselves and help you face these new challenges and transform them into opportunities. And yes, we discovered opportunities in Latin America, in Asia, Middle East and Africa, opportunities for us and for them, opportunities to build a better world together. We call this opportunity DIP, Deeper in the Pyramid. This initiative, DIP, aims to reach out to people who were somehow invisible to the business world. They represent the future of the growing demand in emerging markets for safe and nutritious food. We discovered that this market involves 2 billion people in 67 emerging nations. We also realized that from today on, 3% of these people will be reaching the middle class every year. These products are already a reality in countries like India, Indonesia, Kenya, Colombia, Peru, Sudan, Egypt, among many others, showing that the demand exists and it pays off. That's what we call an opportunity of doing business and doing good. So once again, we follow our foundation, developing knowledge, tools, and a business model to help our customers to reach new opportunities in a new world. Tetra Pak, Deeper in the Pyramid Unit Network, intelligence for doing business with consumers of the future, passion to do good.
Excellent. So this is how you looked at this segment deeper in pyramid, and we were trying to look at what does a consumer in this segment really feel like or look like, and we realized that's very much similar to what is there in a section above that. 2 or 3 main concerns. One is they would like to have a brighter future, and that future, children's are their future. So they are looking at providing the best nutrition available to their children. At the same time, the environmental conditions are not very good, leading to some illness at some point of time. And the moment you have an illness in a family, it takes away so much of your resources, which are as such very small, and also a lot of energy, and takes a long time to come out of it. So that's why they would like to provide food which is extremely safe and also has nutrition, because the quantities, they cannot give huge quantities, so it has to be affordable and to be provided to the kids. So in a nutshell, these two things, they would like to give the best to their kids and like to provide them the nutrition. Number 2, they would like to avoid illnesses, and their awareness on brands, that's why, was very high. They were not able to afford many, say for example, Nestle 1 liter milk, but at the same time, they were very clear that this is of good quality. So in case that could be provided in an affordable package to these consumers, they would definitely buy that. And keeping this understanding in mind, we realized that if we start working with this segment, you could say the challenge is 4-fold. The first one, it talks about the affordability, for a simple reason that they have very limited resources, so we have to ensure that the product which we are